Coach's Corner Caf fans, and certainly want to thank everybody for joining me today and for all your support over the years, and especially in this crazy year and following the Cavs. And certainly we won the last game, as they say. Coach Reed had a T-shirt several years ago, and it was in Chinese writing, and nobody knew what it meant when he first brought it in, and so I still pulled that shirt out a little bit for the kids to see, and I think it was our 2005 team when we won that last game, so that was awesome. So on the way home, and I guess the reason that I thought about the support by so many people, when I got on the bus Sunday night, I had 116 text messages from people all over, and friends and former players and just people who enjoy watching us play and things like that. So fortunately, that 3-hour trip, Coach Hemme and I sit together, so I had a lot to do and a lot of people to talk to, and so that made the trip really fun home. Just talking to him and talking to all the people that really support our program. So I'm going to review the game from last week and talk about some shout outs to our seniors and also to the coaches. We're going to talk about the game itself a little bit before we get started on that. Every day in my class, I have a thought for the day. And a couple days ago, the thought for the day was the value lies in the struggle and not in the prize. And so I always talk about what does that really mean? And so I asked the kids, and they're not really sure all the time. But we talked about the journey, and we talked about the relationships that you build through the struggles, and it's not necessarily the prize that's important. The prize can be fun, and the prize can have some value, obviously, but it's the journey that counts. So we got to hold up the trophy, and some of the kids will buy rings, and you get the real nice program, the state program, and they're going to get their gold medal, and a lot of those things that are the prizes, but really it's the journey. It's these seniors getting to their first state Final Four, winning the state semis, and then winning the state championship. The relationships you build, and the dog pile after the field goals made by Brady and everybody piling in the end zone on the last play, and getting that picture taken with the trophy, and certainly those relationships will be around for a long time, and hopefully they'll stick together and enjoy those relationships and meeting all those new people. And so it really is the journey for me. I guess as I've gotten older, just the joy after the game of watching everybody else enjoy it. The parents all along the railing, and the players getting to go talk to their parents after the game and hug their parents, and watch the coaches so excited. Joe Hewer's been coaching a while, and this was his first title, and he was just so pumped. And just to watch everybody kind of observe how much fun it is, and how happy they are, and through this stressful time, and situation that we all got to play and got to celebrate now and have a perfect season as a team. And so, man, it really is the journey and the relationships that you build that really is important. So let's go to the game, which was just a couple days ago. Certainly a Sunday night game, the last game, and we were kind of, weren't really too excited about playing on a Sunday night, other than the fact that we got to keep playing. So we were excited. As you know, the game got changed to Massillon, which was a little further, but we were really happy about that because it's such a great high school stadium, and it's a fun place to play, and I know the TV did a really good job, and they had the big screen and big screen scoreboard and all those types of things. So it really is a great place to play. So the game itself versus Springfield, who was 11-0. So our last three opponents, Mechanicsburg, Columbus Grove, and Springfield, were all undefeated going into those games, as well as us. So we knew it was going to be a battle, and I talked about it all week, that they had a great quarterback, and as much as I was impressed, I think I was even more impressed after seeing him play. So as you know, the game was back and forth. No one was ever winning by more than 7 points, so it was back and forth, and we made plays, and they made plays, and we made defensive stops, and they made defensive stops, and I guess we just made 2 more plays at the end than they did to get the victory, and So it was an exciting game, and in the rain, and just so many circumstances that made it really, really a cool game. The last game of the year of high school football in Ohio. Hopefully lots of people watched it that weren't really involved too much from Coldwater or from New Middletown. So those plays made by lots and lots of different players. What I'm really proud of this season and our team was we had so many contributors, so many different guys to make plays, important spots. One of our we talked about it every week. Do your job. Do your job. Whether that your job was, Brady and Ethan Diller, our long snapper, in our field goal kicker. They probably didn't play as much, I'm sure, as they would have liked during the games. But their role for us to win this championship was to get great snaps on punts and PATs and field goals, and for Brady to kick them through. And so they did that. And of course, we win the game on the last play with a field goal. So that was awesome. So really, really happy and proud for all of our players that really were major contributors. As the game went on, it was fairly stressful, but you stay the course. Coach Reed was always really calm. I worked with Coach Mallory over at Indiana in the late '80s, and he was great about that. No matter what was going on around, remain calm and feel like you can, keep everybody calm and just keep playing. And Coach Reed says, never give in, never give up, was certainly displayed at this game, the other night when we could have really, with 2 minutes and 44 seconds, and we're down 7, and they just scored and had all the momentum. We could have really, folded up the tent and say, well, I guess we're going to lose tonight. But they didn't do that, and we scored, I guess, 10 points in the last minute, 36 seconds to pull out this victory. I talk a lot about special teams, and I keep trying to convince our players, and I think they're bought in, that special teams is such a huge, huge part of these games, especially in high school football. And so it came to it again. Our punt returns, our kickoff returns, I know Zach McKibben had 370 yards, something like that, all-purpose yards in the game with catching, rushing, threw a pass, had 2 touchdowns. But the special teams punt returns and kickoff returns were huge for us. So we've won 4 titles at Massillon Stadium. 3 of those titles came down to special teams. We blocked the extra point in 2007 to win 28-27. 2012, we kicked the field goal early. It was early in the game, but we won 10-9. And then, of course, this game, we have a huge punt return for 72 yards, and then get a field goal on the last play of the game. And so that's been awesome for special teams. Another kind of maybe unnoticed special teams kind of situation is our 2-minute drill has been great all year. I don't know how many. I don't know the statistics on it, but I know this: several end of halves, and certainly the other night with 2:44, we went into 2-minute mode, and we practice it 3 times a week, and it's always fun on Wednesday. Wednesday at the end of practice before we condition, Coach Wright always comes up with a scenario. Okay, fellas, we're down 6. You have 1 minute, 30 seconds. You have 2 timeouts, and you're on the 50-yard line. And so each week he changes that up. And by making it, we're ahead by, we're losing by 6. We're losing by 8. We're only losing by 2. And so at the end of that 2-minute drill, we either score a touchdown and kick an extra point, or sometimes we'll run let's say we didn't have timeouts and the clock was running, we run our field goal team on there and kick it and get the sidelines going and put some pressure on Brady. And so our 2-minute drill was really, really good all year. So we practiced it, like I said, we practice it about 3 times a week for about 3 5-minute sessions a week. And so it really, really helped us this year. And we've always practiced it, but we used it more this year probably than ever. So what a game, 38-35, lots of offense, lots of big plays, lots of really good defensive plays. So that made the game exciting. Celebration was just really fun. It was tough to really celebrate, after we got home, and really most of us, I think, went home, and so there'll be some celebrating this week, I'm sure, on this Thanksgiving week and weekend. But we ended the season 12-0. We're really proud of that. There are over 700 high schools that play football in Ohio, and 4 of us ended up undefeated. So that's a good feather in our cap that we were one of those 4. to end up undefeated. With these wins this year, we have maintained to have the most wins by any school in Ohio since the year 2000. So we're number one on that list. I can't remember the exact number. I want to say 254 wins maybe in those 21 years, I guess now, since 2000. So we're really happy about that. This was our 7th state title. We've been to the final game 13 times. So we got on the winning side of that. Seven wins and 6 losses in those title games. Really proud of that. So lots of things to celebrate and be proud of with this season. And so that leads me to shout-outs. And the first group goes to those seniors, 13 of them. And really happy for those seniors, really proud of those seniors, and probably most importantly, the maturity that they've grown up these last couple of years. Really feel good about where they were a few years ago and to where they've come with leadership and just doing things the right way in school and out of school. So really proud of that maturity. Their effort and attitude has been great. You know, we started back on May 26th when we weren't sure what we could do, how long it was going to last, and they just stayed the course and really have played well and had fun and brought the young guys with them, and so really happy for those guys. So numerically, I'm going to go down our guys and talk about what positions they played, and just real briefly because you know who they are and you saw their numbers and things like that. So number 2, Zach McKibben, played lots of places. He was a return guy and played corner for us, and certainly on offense he was a slot guy and a running back. Number 3, Zach Hamburger was our safety, led the team in tackles, had a big interception the other night. and so he just played defense. Miles Blassingame, number 7, obviously our quarterback, and a safety for us, and was the Northwest Player of the Year. And so when All-State comes out, we'll see where he sits there. Number 9, Justin Hardings, was a great special teams guy for us, and also was a starting outside linebacker. Did not play offense, but Justin had a really good game the other night. I think he was in on about 10 tackles. Brady Klingshirt was our kicker, number 14. He also played a little bit of tight end, not too much, but also played outside backer and had some good minutes in several games and the other night. 17, Ethan Diller was an inside receiver and a corner. Did not probably play a ton on offense and defense, but he was our long snapper for field goals, PATs, and punts. Had zero bad snaps this year. We were 100% on snaps, on punts, field goals, and extra points. So hats off to Ethan. Number 44, Alex Kanapke. Unfortunately, Alex was hurt in the first Fort Recovery game. Alex is number 44. He was a fullback. And outside linebacker, started at both of those spots, and feel terrible for Alex. But he hung tough, came to practice every day, and really helped our guys. Backing up to Ethan and Brady, they were also really good special teams guys for us on all the special teams. Backing up here, I skipped Jay in there. Jay Mullenkamp played more plays than anybody on our team. If you would ask lots of people who weren't really close to the team, who plays the most? Well, Jay Mullenkamp. He was our tight end, kind of wing kind of guy, and defensively he was a corner, but he gave Miles his breaks on defense, but Jay never came out. So Jay was an all-league tight end for us, and man, what a maturity just physically for him from last year to this year, and turned into a really good football player. Made some key plays the other night for us. So back up to number 53, Troy Hess was always a running back and a linebacker, and this year we asked him to move to nose guard and offensive guard, and he just did his job. Also an all-league defensive lineman, and played both ways a bunch at the end of the year. Got a few breaks in there, but Troy Hess, nose guard and offensive guard. Number 65, Blake Seifring, became one of our best leaders. I love the way Blake led this year. He was one of our offensive guards, outstanding guard, all-league guard, and also played defensive tackle and end. Unfortunately, Blake had a hurt Achilles these last couple of games. He still played and played well, but not really as fresh and as good as he could have performed if he would have been really healthy. Number 71, Luke Amtrop, was a guard and a guard and a defensive end for us. Again, probably didn't get to play as much as he would have liked, but was on our PAT and field goal team, and we're really just his nickname is Smiley, and just had a great attitude. And then Connor Adams, number 78, was a defensive end, defensive tackle for us, and started almost every game and played a ton for us all year. And so Connor, really came out of himself this year. He used to not talk too much, and he became our big C. And really, I think he had a really, really great time this year. I got to back up. I skipped number 56, Nolan Toby. How could I forget Nolan? Again, Nolan was also one of our key leaders, 3-year starter at offensive tackle, and also then was a really good defensive end for us. Did not play much defense as a sophomore, a little bit last year, and then, of course, this year he played quite a bit. So Nolan was an outstanding pass blocker and really took charge of that O-line this year and really helped one of our sophomore O-linemen, Evan Homan, who started all year. So proud of you guys and proud of those guys and great maturity, improvement, effort, and attitude, and I'm really, really happy for those guys. And lastly, our coaching staff, there's 8 of us. And really, really proud of these guys. And I mentioned it earlier in the year. Really good coaches, really good teachers, really good husbands, good fathers, and really, really good for our players. So by age, I guess, of course, I'm the old guy at 60, and Coach Wright coaches the defensive tackles and the offensive tackles. Coach Hemme, who is our principal, he helps wherever he can and whenever he can. So he's kind of our jack of all trades guy. Keenan Liechty coaches our linebackers and fullbacks and does a really, really good job with our punt block and punt return team. He's been awesome with that this year. Mark Bruns is our defensive coordinator and coaches the outside linebackers. Dan Kenny coaches the receivers and the safeties. And of course, Dan played here as all these guys did, other than Randy and Keith. So Dan does an outstanding job in the press box with Mark on the phones. Joe Hewer coaches with Coach Wright. He coaches the defensive ends and the offensive guards and centers. He took over for me, I guess, several years ago when I had the centers and guards. And then Corey Klinke, who is our quarterback coach and corners coach. And so Corey's been with us 6-7 years now, I guess. And all those guys, man, so thankful to have such a quality staff and much appreciate what they do for me. And then lastly, Mike here, who's sitting here with me, who runs the Coach's Corner and the CavFootball.com. Chris and Rod, who take care of all the stats and do just a great job with helping us out with all that kind of stuff. And Chris does a really, really good job with putting together things that he sends out for the media and just things like all those records and interesting facts and fun facts, all those types of things. Scott Kramer, who also does our really good film from the sideline, and then Rob Schmidt, who does our end zone camera. So I really want to thank those guys that are really close to the program. So 2020 has finally ended before Thanksgiving. First time that's happened when we've made it to a state title. We won our last game. This senior class is undefeated this year, 12-0. And so they can be really, really proud of that. And we'll try it again next year. So thanks for joining the Coach's Corner.